A new mission launched.
Our schools have gotten away from putting God at the center.
From soaring airways to school hallways, a civilian now, his Catholic faith at the heart of this mission. Not long ago, retired Lieutenant Commander Ali Ghaffari served the U.S. as a Navy fighter pilot.
I was able to fly in Afghanistan and Iraq, and I loved my time in the Navy. Amen. In the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
You went from having a successful career as a Navy fighter pilot to now starting a Catholic school. Why?
Great question. Love of my kids at the heart of it. I want my kids to become saints. I want them to be in heaven one day.
Ghaffari believes that goal begins with education. And for this former atheist, his own conversion to Catholicism was sparked by learning, focused on seeking truth.
The ancient Greeks were critical to my coming to faith and understanding that truth exists and it's not all relative.
Exposure to ancient Greek philosophy as a young adult led him to learn more about the lives of great Catholic saints, including Aquinas and Augustine, saints formed in the classical liberal arts. A vision for education with roots in ancient Greece, adopted by the Catholic Church for nearly 2,000 years, but hard to find in many schools today. Ghaffari wanted it for his own children, so he started his own school.
You don't have a background in education or administration. This is sort of a dream and a vision you had, and you did it.
It's just setting a vision and having an idea of what you want to do, and that vision then attracts people and then putting them in the right spot. So I would say anybody can do this.
In Pasadena, Maryland, he showed us around Divine Mercy Academy, the independent Catholic school he started 3 years ago. It isn't run by a diocese, but the school's Catholic identity is clear.
The mission, number one, is to make saints, and the number two is to make scholars.
To operate the school, he's found the right faculty, practicing Catholics trained in the classical approach, on fire for sharing the faith. 110 students here, grades K through 8, are formed using the classical liberal arts model of education. The word liberal meaning to be free. The ancient Greeks believed it was education for a free person, giving them the ability to think freely, to search for truth, and grow in virtue.
And so a classical liberal education is an education that focuses on the bigger questions. You know, why are we here? And what should I do with my life?
Students at Divine Mercy Academy are encouraged to ask those bigger questions. More than studying solely for what's on a test, Ghaffari says they are learning to think critically, analyze, and apply those skills to a broad range of subjects.
To understand history, to understand art, to understand science and the roots and how it integrates fully with each other and with faith.
And faith keeps the whole mission grounded. God is at the center.
It begins with him, right? And then it's his creation. And the classical model is based on curiosity and invitation. So what do you notice here? What do you observe? Why do you think that might be? How does that connect to this, that, and the other thing?
Ghaffari believes Catholic education faces a widespread problem today, a loss of Catholic identity. Too many Catholic schools trying to model themselves after public schools.
I think that's an error because they miss the most important thing, which is God. And so as a result, we've compromised our faith, and our faith has become minimized and sidelined in favor of the latest new trend in education.
He says classical liberal arts education is far from the newest trend.
We're just bringing back what was so successful for 2,000 years.
Prayer is a critical part of each day at Divine Mercy Academy. Ghaffari says one family found the school to be too Catholic. They removed their child from the school when they learned religion was practiced in more than one class.
We're going to be attending Mass daily. We're going to be praying the Rosary daily. We're going to be praying the Divine Mercy Chaplet daily. Either they get really excited about that, or they say, I don't think this is quite the place for me.
But a glowing endorsement came last year when Bishop Thomas Daly from the Diocese of Spokane, Washington visited. A high authority, Bishop Daly is the head of the U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops Committee on Catholic Education.
What did he say?
That we're the future of Catholic education.
Ghaffari believes Bishop Daly saw something unique.
Children excited about their faith. Children practicing their faith with joy.
And it's hard to ignore where classes for Divine Mercy Academy take place, inside a former diocesan Catholic school. The sign is still out front, markings throughout the building. For over half a century, this was home to St. Jane Francis School. But it was plagued by continual declining enrollment, and a couple of years ago, the Archdiocese of Baltimore had to shut it down. Divine Mercy Academy now rents the building, and enrollment in the independent school has increased since its founding, doubling each of its first 3 years.
There's obviously a difference there in what's made this successful. What is it?
It's fidelity to the faith, putting God first in everything. And then I think the classical model, having that as an additional element there, is also very attractive to families.
A former career and conversion to Catholicism took him to new heights. But Ali Ghaffari wants to help others on the path to heaven, and this mission is expanding. He hopes for a new school building to house Divine Mercy Academy, the creation of more academies across the country, and ultimately a return to classical liberal arts education in all schools.
And I think the only way back to a lively and vibrant church is through education. It begins with our kids.
Mark Irons, EWTN News in Depth.